Hey guys, it's me, Pokemon, and I'm here to talk about what DC Unchained needs to survive. So these are going to be more of a casual series where I'm going to go over things I've noticed in other games, other mobile games specifically, that I really enjoy and that keep me hooked. Because for those of you that don't know, I've been playing Marvel Future Fight for probably close to around 2 years since I got a phone that could run it. I've been playing it, I think, every day since then. And there are a lot of things I've noticed in that game that they've done very well that I want DC Unchained to follow in. And I think if they do, it'll allow DC Unchained to be a lot more successful. So this is going to be part one, and each episode I'm going to plan to tackle one topic. So today's topic is the need of collecting all the characters. So a game I try to play sometimes is Contest of Champions. I think the moment-to-moment gameplay is really good in there. I think it's a lot of fun, but I find the grind pointless to a certain extent because, I believe the next slide, now, of course, these numbers might be wrong because I'm a noob to Contest of Champions, but from an outside look, I see that you only need 20 characters. They have the Alliance Wars, and you need 5 for offense and 5 for defense. Then I think you need 5 for Alliance Conquest, and then 5 for just other quests you run around in the game. So, you collect those 20 heroes, and then what's the point of getting anybody else? If you have the 20 top tier characters, why go for anybody else? Because they'll serve no purpose. And that's just one of the things that keep me from playing it. Another thing is their RNG with their crystals, but that's an entirely separate video, and you guys can expect that later. But this is a big reason why I don't stick with it, because oh, that's cool that you released Kingpin, but what's the matter to me? He's never going to help me out in anything. Even came in Future Fight, the characters that aren't that great still get to have a lot of spotlight because of some of the modes I'll talk about later. So let's go into some of the games that actually have done it right, in my opinion. Now, of course, Contest of Champions does have Arena, and the benefit of owning a lot of characters is you can keep on throwing them into the arena to hopefully farm up more points. But honestly, from an outside player, the amount of grinding you have to do in there is outrageous. It's too much for me to be like, wow, this is enjoyable. So who's done this right? Marvel Future Fight and DC Legends, I believe that's what it's called, are two of mobile games that I can think of that are pretty close to what DC Unchained will be. And first of all, if I ever confuse Legends and Unchained, my bad. They're two very similar titles, so here's hoping I can keep them straight. But they're two games that are similar to DC Unchained. See, look at that. They're all so similar. But we'll have to see if Unchained can follow in these two games' footsteps. Now, DC Legends, I don't play because, again, they have a lot of RNG, which I'll talk about later, and I don't find their gameplay all that exciting. But they've still introduced a mode that I really like. And I think it's called Red Alert. And essentially, they give you, you have to complete 12 missions every day, I believe, and you send in 4 or 5 characters to complete each mission. And then you get rewards that build up, and you get higher rewards for every mission you can make it through. So, if you can clear all 12 stages, you're going to add a lot of rewards. So, after you get those first 20 characters up, I think you need 5 to run missions and stuff like that. And after you get those first 5 up, you're like, well, I want to get more characters up because then I can get higher up in Red Alert, and then I can farm more characters and get higher up in Red Alert. And it's very clever, and it almost made me play the game some more because I noticed the fact that now there's a point to get a lot more than 5 characters, which I think is super awesome. And I gotta give WB Games, who have developed this, props for adding this mode. But now, Future Fight. Now this is what I know. So, it was around when maybe Daredevil Season 2 came out, roughly. I think it was around that patch. We had the Shadowlands patch. Now you might be like, Shadowlands, what is that? Well, it's a storyline where Daredevil becomes evil. He sets up this thing in New York, and he's the kingdom of this arena with all these people fighting in it. Anyways, Marvel Future Fight takes that, and they're like, what if we added a bunch of characters into it? And the whole premise of the mode is you go floor by floor, clearing each of them to make it through to the 25th floor and beat Daredevil. They recently added 5 more floors to it, so now there's 30 floors. But you send 3 characters in on every stage. There are some stages that need 6, but nearly every stage is you send 3 characters in, you beat whatever bad guys are there, and then you move on to the next stage. And this is really great because for those of you that can do math, 30 times 3 is 90. So, a ton of use for characters there. And beyond that, there's randomly generated the floors you'll get to a certain extent. So you want to have as many characters as you can, so you can say, oh, this is a stage that uses combat characters, so I want to use blast characters to have an advantage. So the more blast characters you have, the more opportunities you have to have an advantage and to clear the stage more successfully. So when you look at this, you get to use 3 every stage, and it allows you to get more than any other mode in the game, because for story missions you just need 3 characters to clear, and they have world boss which needs 15 characters. But 15, Future Fight has around 150 characters right now, so you need a reason to get more than 15. And this mode, I think, does an excellent job bringing in. And another great thing about it is it gives a ton of rewards. It gives you a lot of bios, which are essentially character shards. I was going to say fragments, then I said shards. And they contribute to leveling up your characters, and this gives a ton of them. So it's excellent to run, and it's once a week, so they don't overwhelm you with it because it's a lot to do, and it's really fun. It's probably the best part of the game because there's a lot of status effects and immunities that go on in Future Fight, and this mode's probably the most pure when it comes to the bad guys being the most susceptible to everybody's skills. It's a super fun mode, really fun to get to use characters you never use, because the characters here get to have spotlight, because again, like I said before, the world boss mode, when you fight Thanos and all of them, they're immune to status effects like webbing or freezing. You'll fight just regular baddies here, and they can get frozen or they can get webbed. So characters like Spider-Man, they do really great here because they're able to keep everybody locked down, as opposed to World Boss where they're somewhat useless because they can't web Thanos. So it's just a great mode. I love the rewards it gives. Super fun to play through, and they have it excellently set up where you don't get burnt out by it. Just super great. And of course, you may look at this and be like, 90 characters, DC Unchained will only come out with 30. Well, this isn't something I expect for them to have at launch, or if so, only have like 5 stages. But it's something I hope we build up to, because eventually you're going to need a reason to keep on collecting characters after you get Black Manta, because, Black Manta's the best character. So, that's it. We just give us a reason to grind. Give us a reason to get that next character. Why should I be excited for that next character when I already have all the characters I need? So, here's Black Manta pulling in the money. If they want to pull in our money, give us a reason to grind. That's all I have to say for today. Tune in for the next episode when I talk about what DC Unchained needs to succeed. Goodbye, everybody.